going on, guys? It's Greg Jones for Engine Builder. We are here on day one of Hot Rod Drag Week 2024, joined by Ned Dunphy of Dunphy Racing. Behind us is his 2013 Dodge Viper with an 572 cubic inch SMX, and it's our Engine of the Week.
Engine Builder's Engine of the Week is sponsored by Pen Grade 1, L-Ring DOS Original, and NPW.
Ned,
Nice
pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I've been seeing this car for a while now, and I'm jealous, man. This, for my money, this thing's the coolest thing on the lot.
Thank you.
And I understand you're also leading the class right now on day one.
Momentarily, we're not celebrating yet.
I don't want to give you, you got to make it and complete the task here, but this thing's cool, and we want to know a little bit more about it. So
Sure.
if you don't mind, give us a little bit of history about the Viper, and then we'll get into the SMX.
Okay. I have another Viper I've been campaigning, which is an orange 2014 V10, still has the IRS. And we went to a PRA trade show back 4 or 5 years ago and met Steve. And Steve had the SMX at a stand there. Started talking about what's it for, would it fit in the Viper? And the answer was yes. Then we started seeing the power these things make, and we realized the stock chassis Viper is not going to be able to support this much horsepower. It would just twist it up. So we decided let's build another Viper from ground up, leave the V10 to V10. And so I went out and I bought, when they were cheap, by the way, relatively speaking, when they were cheap, the 2013 Viper. This is the launch edition with the blue and white, and it's number 75 of 150. So for the Viper purists, I'm sorry, but this car is living its best life right now, I promise, okay? So Steve put the motor together for us. It sat for about 3 years as the chassis got built because we took a stock Viper, literally deboned it and then reboned it. And so it took a long, long time, plus COVID and supply and everything else. So last year we finished like a couple weeks before Drag Week. We went out and tested, happy with the passes. Then we come on Drag Week and we finished the week, but I didn't have my NHRA license. So my slips all had to be submitted as 20s. And even though I think last year we went a 638 at 236 was our best on one of the tracks. Then we had an issue where we blew the intake manifold off, which a lot of people know about. Well, we had a methanol detonation because we hung a valve and it boom. So since then, Steve has machined and put in this chimney for us, which we also have now the chimney cut in the hood because previously we didn't, and the hood took the blow. And the intake went whirly-bird into the sky. So here we are in the modern version of this whole thing, which means we figured out the cooling, which is us plumbing the radiators and all that. Steve's given us all the greatest internals. About that, I'm not a very technical guy in the motor, so all I know is 572 cubic inch, right? It's got all the best of the stuff, so billet block all the way through. We're running twin 720 Fuel Tech injectors on the rails for our methanol, and then we've got Fuel Tech, I think they're 170s for gasoline underneath. Two separate fuel systems. There's a big mechanical fuel pump in the front that we put a spud in that turns for the alcohol, and then when we go on the street, we pull the spud, and there's an electric pump in the trunk that powers gasoline to it. So two different tune-ups, the gasoline and that.
Like you said, the SMX, Steve's had that out for a while now. How long have you guys had this in?
Well, 5 years, but so we campaigned last year, Drag Week, and then I went and joined this Radial Outlaw Racing Series and took this car into the Radial versus the World class, which is the biggest, baddest class in that event. So these guys can run 8th mile, radial tire, lights on, 349s, 350s, pretty consistent. We came in with a 4-second car, and we've got it down to a 375 at 208, which is our personal best. But we've lucked through some of the draws. We've done really good in the tree, and the car's been consistent. So we're an A to B car. We're going to go quicker. We got more season left after this. So we put all the stuff back on, radiators, gas fuel systems, air filters, and all that for this week alone. Right. But we had this Morris motor purpose-built for the drag and drive events. And that's what it's for. Go out there and go. We just went a 619 at 247, personal best, and we're going to go drive it 300 miles today, whatever we have to do.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like you said, it's got the billet cylinder heads, billet block.
Yep.
Steve, obviously he's using some really great components inside.
Yep.
Remind us about the twin turbos. What size turbos and how much boost do you typically run through?
Sure, they're precision 102s, okay. And on that last pass, I think we were 65 or 67 out the back. I don't know what we can run yet. We're still eking up. I know in the Radial versus the World we've been to 70, okay. But it's not sustained, right? We're ramping it all the way down the track, so more than we can use. Yeah. The M&M transmission has been fantastic with the lockup. So we're getting that where we can get it to build boost real quick. We open up the dumps. We're going to start locking the converter later this week in second and third, not just third. But right now we're easing into it. And we went, whatever the times were, 640, 626, and then a 619. So we're on the right progression. And at some point we'll hit bottom, but we're not there yet, which is awesome.
So Ned, let's talk a little bit about that. Obviously it's day one. You got that 619 out there, which again, congrats on that.
Yep.
What's kind of the expectation of the goal moving forward throughout the week?
Sure. So the 619, we had good data, right? Because we tested yesterday, so 3 passes. We'll see tomorrow. It's a new track, but it's a great track. I think they all are in this lineup. The tune-up that we're going to load for tomorrow morning, and I'll be happy to eat my words, is a 605, and probably we're aiming for the 250. Yeah. So our goals for the week, and everybody has high-level goals, right, is we'd like to have the best average drag week in history, which I think is going to be 619 or under. We'd like the top mile per hour, and we'd like the top ET. But as the week goes on, we got to take care of this thing, and then Friday we'll put the kitchen sink at it. So it'll be a slow graduation unless we start slipping and slide, and then we're going to have to back off and just do good passes.
Sure. And Ned, about how much horsepower is the SMX making?
Well, this is all guesstimate because we dynoed and we got off at like a 45 or 50 PSI and we were 3,400. So I'm going to guess we're in the 4,000, 4,500 range. Yeah. I'm not sure it's all getting used all the time, And the maintenance on the motor is pretty simple as compared to some other motors. We check valve lash in the morning cold, we check it in the afternoon hot, make sure it's good. We'll change the oil probably twice this week. And then obviously with EGTs, reading those, making sure everything's good. And spark plugs, new plugs every single pass. And then we run different plugs for the street. So this thing eats spark plugs like I eat cookies.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask, obviously you guys got the track fairly well dialed. How about street drives? How does this thing handle?
Maybe check in with me tomorrow. Okay. Last year, it was actually pretty good. So we raised the front height up. You can see that this is all the way down in the cup, so we get some clearance. We have a scraper on the bottom in case we have a manhole cover or something that scares us. And with the trailer on the rear shocks, it's actually not too terrible. But the race seats are horrible. So we have big rubber pads in there, just lumbar and butt. I mean, literally, sitting there for 6 hours, it's a lot on the body. So the worst part is it's hot. You can't help it. It's a metal everything. So as we get rolling, it'll be toasting. We'll be chugging the waters and stopping for sweat breaks, But it'll cruise 65, 22, 23, 2400 RPM-ish. We lock up the converter on the highway with a button and unlock it manually. There's no overdrive on it. We just use the big tires. So we put on big 33-inch street tires to keep the gear ratio right. And I tell you, we didn't ask for the RPM of the track. We'll rev it up to just below 9,000 at the stripe. Same on the 8th mile, where we're clicking it way up high. Yeah. This thing likes to scream, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ned, like I said, I love this car, and I appreciate you telling us a little bit about it. And we wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Builders. Appreciate the coverage.
Guys, that's been this episode of Engine of the Week. Make sure you guys are following along on what Ned's doing at Dunphy Racing and what he's doing with this Viper. It's awesome stuff. And Steve with the SMX. As always, make sure you're also checking out enginebuildermag.com for more great engine content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. Hey, while I've got you guys here, I wanted to tell you about Find a Builder. It's a new microsite on enginebuildermag.com that's great for both engine shops and for potential customers looking to get engine work done. If you're an engine builder, this site is a place where you guys can list your shop and what you guys do to potential customers through enginebuildermag.com. It's an easy subscription-based microsite that'll let you guys connect to a new audience. And if you're a potential customer looking to get engine work done, this is a source to help you guys find a shop that's in your area or one that specializes in the type of engine work that you're trying to get done. Make sure you guys are checking out Find a Builder on enginebuildermag.com. Thanks.